everyone, DeAnn here. Today I'm going to talk about something that we wear every day, well most of the time. Shoes. But before I do that, I wanted to let you know how my second Spinraza injection went. I had it done on Thursday, which was just a few days ago, and everything went well. It was a little bit different this time around. They're getting busier, so I didn't get in quite as soon. Thursday is kind of their Spinraza day, and it sounds like they are getting more people in, so that's kind of good to hear. I like hearing that. And instead of the doctor doing it himself, he had his fellow do the injection. That made me a little bit nervous, but everything still went well. They had to do a little bit different of an approach this time, just because of the way I was positioned on the CT scanner. I wasn't quite as far on my side as I was before, and just barely noticeable at all. However, it made my kidney be in the way of where they went last time. So instead of going between L2 and L3 like they did before, they went between L4 and L5, and which is just a little bit lower down on the spine, but it still went well. They did give me more lidocaine in the middle. I could feel a little bit of pain when the needle was going in, but the extra lidocaine pretty much took care of it, and it's not excruciatingly painful or anything. So if you have anxiety about it, don't worry. It doesn't really hurt that much at all, and it went really smoothly. Now, I still haven't felt any benefits from the shots yet. I'm thinking that I probably won't until the loading doses are done. One thing I haven't maybe noticed, it could be all in my head, I don't know, is that my muscles seem to get sore more easily, and not painful sore, but just like noticeable. When I'm cold, I tend to tense up my muscles sometimes, and I've noticed when I've done that for a long time, after a while, I just feel like, oh, my muscles, I feel it. And before that never really happened. So I don't know, it could be just my imagination, but I thought I'd let you guys know just to keep you aware of what I'm going through. So now I am going to talk about footwear. It's something that you don't really think about being in a wheelchair, but it is important to wear comfortable shoes. I've never had problems, thankfully, with pressure sores, and that's probably because with SMA you have full feeling, so you can tell when you're uncomfortable or not. The only pressure sore I ever got, knock on wood, is on the bottom of my heel, and that was when I was in high school, and that was when chunky shoes were in fashion. I developed a spot on my heel, and we actually thought it was a funny mole, so we had it checked out by the doctor, and he sent me to a podiatrist, and he took one look at it and said, well, that's a pressure sore. So he, scraped the skin off and let it heal up, and it was good. So from then on, I just made sure to wear more comfortable shoes, and ones that didn't have too thick of a sole. Now, the shoe I'm holding, I was really happy when the clog style came in fashion, and that's like this, where it has an open back, and that's really easy to just slide on my foot. When I was a kid, I wore braces on my feet to keep my ankles from rolling, and I ditched those as soon as I could. And my ankles do roll a little bit, but it doesn't bother me. But with the braces, it was really hard to get shoes on. It would always end up pinching my toes, and it was just hard you had to buy shoes that were 10 sizes too big. But now that I don't wear braces, it's a little bit more easy to do. However, because my feet are down all the time, I call them my potato feet, because to me they look like little purple potatoes that you'd find in the grocery store. They're kind of short and fat. So I still do buy shoes that are a little bit bigger than what I would actually need. And I don't do like sandals and open-toed shoes. I just don't think they look good on me. So I opt for the clog style, just slip-on shoes. That way it's easier for other people to put them on me. And I've found that with shoes, you kind of get what you pay for. These are Clarks. It's my favorite brand. And they just are a little more comfortable. They seem a little softer on your heel. And they just seem like a good quality shoe. I also like Crocs. They're not the most fashionable, but they are really comfortable. And I'm not sure how to pronounce it, if it's Alegria but that brand of shoe is also pretty comfortable, and they have some open back styles. Not quite as many as like Clark's. But again, just watch the heel height and kind of try them on and make sure they're comfortable. I have a funny story. The thing with being in a wheelchair is that you don't wear your shoes out very quickly. That's why I don't feel too bad just paying a little bit more for a quality shoe. The only pair of shoes that I've ever worn out was a pair of Clarks, and it wasn't my fault because they ended up getting run over by a car. When I was in college, I lived across in an apartment complex across from the college. And on nice days, I would walk to school, or drive my wheelchair, and I would have to cross a 4-lane highway, of course at the lights. But before class that day, my foot pedal had fallen off my wheelchair. And it was not a big deal, I could dangle my feet, whatever. Well, halfway across the road, because it's an open back shoe, it fell off on the street. And at the time, I did not have my service dog, and nobody was with me to pick it up, and the cars were just, the light had changed, and the cars were just going, so I had to leave it in the middle of the road. And that day, I actually had a speech I had to give in class, and so I had one sock and one shoe on. People were probably wondering what was going on, but I was probably more self-conscious than they even noticed. But on my way back from class, I saw that the shoe had tumbled to the side of the road. And so when my PCA came, I had her walk with me and retrieve the shoe because it was my favorite pair. And it did last a couple of years after that, but then it did fall apart. I suppose getting run over just weakened it enough to where it couldn't hold up much longer. But the pair of shoes I'm holding now are very similar to those. So I'm happy that I found them. And they do have like a little Velcro strap on the side, so you can open them up just a little bit to get them on to fit better. So that's another feature you can look for in shoes, is adjustability. And again, I do go up a size or two just to make them fit comfortably. So anyway, that's all I have for you today, and I hope you have a good day, and I'll let you know. I'm going to a Lynx game on Wednesday. For those of you who aren't sports fans, it's the women's basketball. It's our Minnesota team, and it's game 5 of the championship, so I'm really excited about that. I think it'll be really fun to see, and I'll let you know how that goes. Have a good day. Bye.